Okay, this is kind of a personal share, but I grew up in an environment where anger was a super terrifying thing, and what I experienced of it was really challenging and really scary to the point that I dissociated myself from that feeling completely. I didn't want to have anything to do with anger, I didn't want to be associated with it. And over the course of my life, I've come to learn that I'm really not alone in that. And that's partly why I developed my workshop, Sacred Rage, is because I would be in so many spaces where people were like, oh, you need to feel your anger, oh, get angry. And it like actually physically couldn't happen. Like I had dissociated from it for so long that I wouldn't even know what it felt like if it came up. And also, so often the people saying that had the privilege of being angry and I didn't. In my household environment, I had serious consequences for getting angry, serious punishments for getting angry, and I know that I'm not the only one. And so I developed Sacred Rage, and I've been bringing it around in person because I think it's really important for trauma survivors to have a place to explore anger that is nothing like the environment that they learned anger in. Just nothing like it. Because how else are we going to reclaim it? And I've shown up to a lot of rage workshops where people just want aggression, and it was so terrifying to my nervous system that I would freeze, and then I would feel bullied by the instructors when they were like, how come you're not participating? And it's like, actually, I'm in like a pretty steep freeze response. So I've been taking this class around in person, and I know that that's even a huge step for a lot of people to be with. So I decided to put it online for Aries season because Aries is our first fire season of the year. And it's a lot about the I, the me, the self, and learning anger. And this class is really for people who want to balance the fire element in their life, want to understand anger in their life, but need a lot of support around how fearful that can be, and support around, the environments that have their nervous system still imprinted with fear or still imprinted with fawn or whatever that may be. And so I'll be teaching it online starting April 8th. And we're going to go slow, and we're going to move through the nervous system. We're going to take it easy so that our nervous system can feel really easy with what we're integrating. We're going to find context. We're going to go through it in a trauma-informed way. We're going to have somatic protocols for when things feel itchy and uncomfortable and not right, because so many of us, myself included, just like do not have a safe space to come back to anger, right? And anger is the feeling, not like anger the enactment or anger the behavior or whatever we associate it with. Like that real ability to just be upset, to feel your boundary crossed, right? To be in attunement with the fire element in a healthy and decolonized way. And there are ways to do this, and I learned it the long, slow way because it was something I really needed to come into right relationship with in my life, because the way that I had suppressed and repressed anger was causing all sorts of havoc on my body, like digestive issues, the inability to sleep. I would grind my teeth, I would bite my tongue all night, I would grip my hands. Like I have a friend who calls me Little Fists because I would always have little fists. Just like fawning and people pleasing and saying yes when I wanted to say no, and so many ways that I needed anger in my life. And we always think of anger as this like big explosive thing, but I needed anger to be able to understand where my boundaries were for a fawn response, where my boundaries were in a freeze response, to just let the energy of what was happening in my digestive tract that I had pushed down and pushed down and pushed down to move. And a lot of times when we hear people say, especially as trauma survivors, like, oh, you need to let anger in. It's like the way we've seen anger, we don't want to let that in. We don't want to have anything to do with it. So if that's you, and if this resonates with you, I am teaching Sacred Rage online. You can do it with your camera off. You can do it with your camera on. You can watch the recordings on your own time. You can slow them down, whatever you need. But I know that so many people are feeling so angry these days, and that is causing a lot of health issues. And if that's you, I'm here for you. I want to support you. and I want to learn with you and together and hold space for you. So I'll post the link if you want to come and you know, worship fire for the Aries fire season.